Hola amigos, bienvenidos a No Seas Pendejux. Spiritual wisdom para chingones y chingonas, como tú. For those of you that are on our newsletter, you know that for the last few weeks we've been discussing the different Toltec stages of development. We've gone through and talked about the first 5. And this week we're getting into the 6th one, which is called Chalchihuit, which means jade or precious stone. And Chalchihuit is all about seeing and the ability to be a seer. Now, nowadays, this idea of being a seer is very, very popular. And there are a lot of people that are stepping forward and talking about how they've had this ability to see energy, to see entities, to see aspects of the unseen world, unseen to most, in ways that, others can't or haven't. And it's a beautiful thing to see so many people stepping forward and talking about these things, because up until the most recent wave of colonialism, it started about 1500 years ago, many people had an awareness of these things. And the relationship that we had in our day-to-day life, in our physical life, with the unseen world was very alive and very present. And so now we're actually going through this process of unveiling, of pulling away all of the illusions that have been imposed upon us, all of the barriers to perception that have been imposed upon us. And people are coming out of the woodwork talking about the things that they see and the things that they're capable of seeing. And while this is an amazing thing, it is also something that requires a lot of diligence and a lot of self-reflection and a lot of honesty on behalf of the people that are genuinely called to be vehicles for the messages of spirit or the spirit world into this world. See, if you look into the information that we've been sharing about these stages of development in the Toltec tradition, you'll see that there is this ancient understanding of the fact that we have to go through a constant process of self-awareness. And that process is what allows our consciousness to grow by eliminating all the different little ways that we deceive ourselves on a day-to-day basis. And the ways that those deceptions are largely unnoticed. Now, to be a seer is not necessarily a glamorous thing. Actually, I'd go beyond that and say it's not a glamorous thing. But nowadays, people think that if they step out and start talking about being seers, then they're going to be seen. That it's going to make them somebody. And it's going to make them important. And one of the things about seeing is that it's a two-way street. So a person that has had the ability to see things that others can't, or that is developing that ability, also has to be aware of the fact that what they are seeing is tinted by their own projections. See, energy takes many, many different forms, which is why throughout human history, when you see different cultural accounts that are speaking about the same spirits or the same energies, they're all wearing specific cultural attire. They're all taking on very specific, culturally relevant depictions. Because seeing is a relationship between the seer and that which is being seen. So what for some people are angels, to others they're UFOs. What for some people are, well, you get the drift. There are certain energies that have a type of template to them. And so they arise and they manifest through that template. But the specifics of that template are different according to what the person that is seeing is capable of seeing. But this goes for everything else. And so very often people that want to be seen as seers will unknowingly project out into the world aspects of themselves that they're not aware of, and then read those in the ways that they find most beneficial to themselves, or most detrimental, depending on the person, because it can swing either way. And nowadays, a lot of people go even a step further than that. And they step out on these different platforms that are available to everybody, and they start talking about the things that they see. And while they're doing it, they're adopting the identities of other people that are doing the same thing, but that they perceive as having more followers, more success, more power. And so in an attempt to be seen, these, let's say, fledgling seers take on this parasitic energy. And it's a parasitic energy that not only affects the way that they take from those that are out there that are their would-be teachers, but that then filters through them into the messages that they share with the world. And so the parasite spreads. And it spreads in the guise of medicine. And a lot of times, these same fledgling seers that are very much capable of seeing things end up becoming the products or the emissaries of the exact same forces that they're speaking against or claiming to stand against. When we go through these different stages of development, what we're talking about is cleaning those lenses, cleaning those energetic spaces within ourselves and within our capacity to perceive the world. And this is something that has to be done every single day. A foundational concept of the Toltec tradition is the concept of the smoking mirror. And it is that mirror that needs to be cleansed day in, day out. It's that mirror that we need to have an awareness of every single moment of every day. Because it is only through cleansing that mirror that we can begin to separate what is being projected and what is genuinely being seen. It is only through cleansing that mirror that we can have any kind of awareness of the types of energy that are not only feeding on us, but that we are then projecting out into the world to feed on others. See, we're all vessels for so many different types of energy. And when a person is departing from a place of lack, from a place of fear, and much worse from a place of envy, then they're the embodiment of those parasitic energies. And it doesn't matter how much they try to cover themselves up with the most popular language of enlightenment or awakening their efforts and the energies that they put out into the world are laced with an underlying agenda. And it is a parasitic agenda. And seers can see that. And see, the crazy thing is that this entire structure that we navigate in, this whole social media thing, is a trap. It's a trap on so many different levels. For one, it's a trap because it attempts to literally entrap your energy and your attention and your awareness every moment possible. Second, it's a trap because it pulls projections from you, and it demands that those projections go out into the world in the hopes that those projections will somehow be hooked onto by somebody else and then will return energy back to you. And in that way, self-affirm your value or your worth. It's tied up in all the nuances of things like this. So for the person that is determined to be a clear vessel for spirit, that is determined to be someone that can see clearly and that can be of service in a clear way, it is essential to take up the work of reflecting upon the self. And not just in group settings, not just in rituals, not just in ceremonies, but every single day. Paying attention to the subtle nuances of what you say, what you think, what you do, whether or not the expression that you're putting out into the world is meant to feed spirit by feeding the souls of others, or meant to detract and take from them by demanding their attention and demanding that they make you aware of your own importance. See, all of this is about impeccability. It's all about realizing, first and foremost, that it doesn't matter what abilities you may have. If you are not doing the work of cleansing your energy and cleansing your perception and cleansing your heart, then those abilities that you have are going to emerge into the world in atrophied ways. And as they emerge into the world in those atrophied ways, they're going to spread the same kind of soul sickness that is feeding on you. So the work is to become aware day in and day out of the ways that that soul sickness manifests. The way that it makes you hunger to be fed by the attention and the awareness of others. And to day in and day out, strip away the behaviors, the beliefs, the fears that lead to that soul sickness. The aim for any of us has to be clear to us first and foremost. You need to know why you are doing what you're doing and what it is that you are in service to. And in order to do that with clarity, you have to be impeccable.